What's happening, people? What's going on? Happy Monday, guys. How's everyone doing? Let me know. What's the vibe like? What's the vibe like on this wonderful Monday afternoon? I'm doing good, in case, anybody who wants to know. I know nobody asked, but I'm doing good. And as always, in the world of football, despite the fact that there's no football on and the transfer window is here, we got so much to talk about because Manchester United are making moves, albeit a bit slower than other clubs, and we're going to talk about the other clubs very, very briefly. But Manchester United are linked to a move for Alexander Mitrovic, the Al Hilal striker who joined them nearly 2 seasons ago now, from Fulham for £40 million. Goncalo Ramos from PSG have been offered to Manchester United as well. Mateta is still a striker that's on the list for Manchester United. So we're going to talk about, I guess, predominantly we're going to be talking about strikers today, guys, because that seems to be a lot of the news coming out today. And Inter Milan are a team interested in signing Rasmus HOJLUND on loan. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Jadon Sancho's future. We're going to talk about Anthony's future. We're going to talk about Marcus Rashford's future. We've got a lot to talk about. So make sure you guys hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well. Big up to Wahib. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm furious that there's no news about Luke Shaw leaving the club. Surely he can't stay again for another season. You know what? I don't even know if United would be able to sell Luke Shaw. Like, if they were to sell Luke Shaw, it would have to be for peanuts. Like, I genuinely think, like, it would have to be for peanuts. And right now, Manchester United don't look like a team that's financially capable of doing much. So every penny counts for them. Every single penny counts. But before we go into Manchester United talk, you guys know I always like to talk about what's happening in and around the transfer window. And I am so gutted. So gutted when I saw this from David Ornstein. Manchester City are pursuing a deal to sign Ryan Aït-Nouri from Wolves, a decent fee as well. I don't think it's a huge fee. However, agreements are still need to be reached between the two clubs. However, both parties expect a move to happen. It's expected that Vardiol will obviously go to play in that left-sided centre-back, and Aït-Nouri, Ryan Cherki, Reinders, they signed Omar Marmoush. Firstly, why are Man City signing a lot of North African players? What is there something going on at Manchester City's in their boardroom? Because they're signing multiple. Obviously, I think Mahrez was the last North African player that they had, but suddenly in the space of 2 windows, they're signing 3 North Africans. Obviously, Cherki actually plays for France, but his heritage is North African. Aït-Nouri is North African as well, and obviously we all know that Omar Marmoush is North African as well. Mina Revolution in Manchester. Seriously, like, there's something going on there. There's something going on there. Pissed about Aït-Nouri. I'm really upset about Aït-Nouri because he's a player that I always liked. I'm not gonna lie, I did think he would go to Liverpool, but obviously Liverpool are signing Kerkez, because I always thought Kerkez would go to Real Madrid, but Real Madrid are signing Alvaro Fernandez. Do you see how quickly teams are moving in the transfer window, guys? Am I the only one that is? Maybe we're being spoiled because Arsenal haven't officially signed anyone yet. Chelsea haven't officially signed anyone yet. United haven't officially signed Matheus Cunha, but we know that they've announced him that he's joining. And it's just that they're on international break, etc. But he's joining Manchester United. So technically, Man United do have their first signing. But I'm just looking at everybody else and I'm thinking, is Manchester United just moving really slow, or is Liverpool and Manchester City and Real Madrid, are they just moving really, really fast? Like, that's what I'm questioning, because I don't feel like this is a norm. Manchester City, this is their rebuild, by the way. Shout out to everyone. I know there's some Man City fans as well here on my channel because I make videos across all kind of teams. This is their rebuild. Like, this is how quickly they're moving with their rebuild. And yes, they have the financial opportunity to be able to do that, but they've identified the areas, and Liverpool have done the same. Real Madrid have done the same. Real Madrid had a poor season, by the way, in terms of their expectation. And obviously, with the Club World Cup coming up, they have to move quickly. PSG winning Champions League already. They're on their way to sign Maston Tuno. I don't know. I feel like we're living in limbo a lot. Move fast and pay more. I don't think it's move fast and pay more. I think we're living in limbo because a lot of Man United's transfer stuff, or incomings in particular, is dependent on some outgoings. Our priority is up front. I think we're working on Mbeumo. Newcastle are hot on him too. We're going to talk about Mbeumo as well because, yes, Newcastle are hot on him. And honest question, guys. Honest question. If you were Mbeumo and you got Newcastle and Manchester United, and the state of Manchester United and the state of Newcastle right now, who would you go to? Genuine question. Who would you go to? Getting 99 Crespo vibes with that Palmer kit. It's got Crespo's name on the back, funnily enough. And that's why I'm not shocked that the Mbeumo stuff is moving slow. He has to make a right decision. We're going to talk about Liam Delap as well, because apparently Liam Delap had some concerns about Manchester United, and if a player like Liam Delap has some concerns about Manchester United, then you can imagine, you know, the bigger marquee names that maybe Man United might go for might have some questions as well. Did you watch the Pythagoras and Boots video on Mbeumo? Seems like he might not be the best fit at 10 for United, better fit at Newcastle. I've said this all the time. I think he's a better fit for Newcastle, but I want him at United. Let me not be shameless. But I just thought to share this Ain't Nuri news with you guys, because yeah, I saw it and I was really, really disappointed about it. On the topic of Mbeumo, be sure to hit the like button, guys, if you've just come in. On the topic of Mbeumo, Manchester United are intensifying their efforts to secure Bryan Mbeumo. We know the price tag is 50 million. We already know that. Mbeumo has also caught the eye of multiple other teams, including Arsenal and Newcastle. However, Manchester United are increasingly optimistic about enticing Mbeumo to Old Trafford. This is one report, and I saw a report as well from James the Muppeteer saying that Manchester United are increasingly more confident that they might be able to get a deal over the line for Mbeumo, given the fact that, you know, other teams are interested in him, and, you know, Newcastle at this current time have a lot more to offer him in terms of regular competitive football. Manchester United have to sell the idea of a project. And to be honest, guys, my only question or concern, I'll say, I wonder if I got it up here somewhere. I've got so many tabs open right now. One of my concerns about signing Mbeumo, or if we lose out on Mbeumo, I think about this news coming out regarding Liam Delap. Now, Andy Mitten said on Talk of the Devils podcast that Liam Delap had some concerns. The reason why he didn't join Manchester United, and, you know, he's set to join Chelsea, Liam Delap had some concerns about Manchester United. Number one, the way that the team currently is was one of his concerns. Number two, the position that they finished in. I mean, how can you be worried about the position? You finished below us, but hey, let me not be shameless. He was concerned about the position that Manchester United in, and most importantly, I think this is the biggest part, he was concerned and had questions about the mixed messages regarding Ruben Amorim and his future at Manchester United, which essentially kind of points me into the direction that maybe there is some uncertainty surrounding Ruben Amorim's future, long-term future at Manchester United. And then maybe a player doesn't want to sign if the manager, if they're being brought in by a particular manager or for a particular quotation mark system, maybe they might be skeptical about that because of this mixed messages regarding Ruben Amorim's future. Now, we don't know what was said regarding the manager's future, but if that's enough to put Liam Delap off and make him sign with Chelsea, given the fact that Chelsea are not gonna just make him the only striker signing. They're linked right now to Ekitike, and if he comes in, Liam Delap might not be starting. So he was willing to take that jump, and be able and be like, you know what, I'll go to Chelsea because maybe they're in a better place right now. What United are going through right now, to an extent, it feels like what Chelsea went through, you know, when Abramovich was forced to sell, etc., and that whole period up until now, right? Maybe I would even argue that Man United's situation is maybe worse because they got no money. Number one, you know, Chelsea had the luxury of dropping 100 million multiple times on, you know, Caicedo and Enzo, etc., and go and sign Cole Palmer and sign people like Raheem Sterling and the most randomest players. They had that luxury to do that. The financial implications kind of was in their favor. I actually think Man United's situation is slightly worse than theirs, because even at their worst, Chelsea didn't finish 15th place. They didn't. You know, at their worst, they did not. And people were clowning them for celebrating the Conference League. But given where they've come from and where they're at now, you can see that the growth is linear. I don't know how long it's going to take for Manchester United to be in that position where the growth is linear and season on season you're seeing the growth, because the financial issues that United face, I think, is a big hindrance to all of that. But I just wanted to mention that, because talking about, you know, Mbeumo, and the move for Mbeumo, I just had to mention if that was a potential hiccup. That could be a potential hiccup. Now, I don't know where this news is coming from, guys. It seems like a lot of the talk today is striker talk, by the way. But it's coming from Graham Bailey, who said that Manchester United have been offered an opportunity to sign Goncalo Ramos. PSG have told Ramos's representatives that the striker can leave the club in the summer, and they have been talking to other clubs in Europe as well as the Saudi Pro League. Now, I remember when Goncalo Ramos was in the Portuguese league, and I was so shocked that he went to PSG because it was just a very unexpected, I think, signing at the time. I never expected him to go to PSG. He hasn't really made anything of himself at PSG. And one thing about PSG, you got a season. Like, they're not like Man United where they give you 5, 6, 7 seasons to be a part of, to grow in the team and show what you're worth. If they don't see within 6 months that you have some value, you will never play. And if you do play, you're coming off the bench. And that's what Goncalo Ramos's role has been. He's maybe been lucky in comparison to Kolo Muani. Kolo Muani got shipped off. Back in they dropped what? I think it was 70 million on Ramos and like 80 on Kolo Muani. Shipped Kolo Muani out on loan because he wasn't working at under Luis Enrique. And Goncalo Ramos has been coming off of the bench for them, not regularly, not starting regularly, because I think PSG play better with Dembele as a 9. I've seen a lot of people saying that they don't want to do PSG a favor after doing a favor for them with Ugarte. I don't think it's really the same. Look at this: 100 million on Kolo Muani and 90 million on Ramos. And let's be real, they're gonna try and recoup some of that 90 million. Let's be honest, guys. That 90 million that they dropped, they're gonna. This is euros, by the way. This is euros. I personally am not keen on this because there's only a couple of strikers in the market that I want. And what if PSG comes in for Garnacho to do what? What are PSG gonna do with Garnacho, Khalid? What are they gonna do with him? Are they buying him for their academy? Like, where is he gonna play? Come on. Kolo Muani is better than Ramos. The only reason Ramos didn't go on loan is because no one wants him. I think I did see, however, a couple of days ago, Liverpool being linked to him, but Liverpool's linked to, similar to Man United, Liverpool are being linked to a lot of strikers right now. We'll probably give them 91 million for Ramos and give them a profit. The only thing I will say is that out of all the strikers that United are linked to, I'm not really keen on Ramos. I'm not really keen on anybody. I'll be honest, guys. I'm not keen on anybody coming to Manchester United that is not performing well for their club right now. We don't need to be a fixer club where we let players come to Manchester United and, fix their careers and, oh yeah, come here. You're not playing at PSG. Okay, come to Man United and show us what you got. No, I want people who are performing well at their club already. It might make the negotiations more difficult and it might be more difficult to entice the player to join Manchester United. But surely that should be the perspective for Manchester United. If they're looking at starters, like if you said to me today, we're signing Goncalo Ramos on a 1-year loan, yeah, with whatever fee, but he's a backup and we're signing a main striker, I'll be like, all right, I guess if you're looking to get rid of HOJLUND and Chido is still being fast-tracked into the first team. But I think there's many better strikers right now performing much better over the course of the last season that Man United could go out and get. It's a matter of, the financial situation and also enticing them to join Manchester United. Now, I know Man United have a good relationship with PSG, so I don't know if that is a part to play in it. I would prefer Prem signings only for this season. We need someone who can perform from day one, no bedding in period. I agree. Someone just said, I'd take Reguilon, solid wing back. What's going on? What is going on? Someone said Garnacho to PSG, now saying I would take Reguilon. Come on, guys. What is this? I'd prefer Mateta. Mateta is another one that United are linked to. Let me just bring him up here on the screen and just with recent news. Manchester United have Mateta on the top of their list. So out of all these strikers that it sounds like we're linked to, it sounds like I think Mateta is quite up there. Now, it's being reported that Crystal Palace are willing to sell him for a fee of around 25 to 30 million pounds. Why do I feel like that's quite low? Why do I feel like that is being reported quite low? I don't know if you guys agree, but I just feel like Crystal Palace don't seem like the type of team similar to Brentford's and the Fulhams. I don't think they will make it easy to sign a player like Mateta. They could easily get a lot more than that. But let's go on. Let's talk about the main part. The main news that's come out today, that I'm not gonna lie, guys, it was only a matter of time, I think, before we were linked to Mitrovic. I genuinely think it was only a matter of time before this link popped up. Now, if you've not seen the news today, Al Hilal are ready to sell or send Mitrovic on loan, but suitors will have to be patient until they finalize a replacement for him. A return to the Premier League for Mitrovic is on the table, with a possibility of West Ham and Everton. Manchester United are also considering this move. He's been offered to Manchester United reportedly for 40 million. This is coming from Ben Jacobs and from TalkSport. Not gonna lie though, Ben Jacobs, he's always been a bit. But I think this window, he's actually been, like, I'm not gonna lie, guys, he's been reporting things a lot earlier than other people. I can't lie, I've been on to Ben Jacobs for a long time, but he's been, like, the Bruno thing about the fee and what Al Hilal were ready to pay, etc. He's been, even the Cunha stuff, he's eating well. He's eating well. Saudi's always been his bag. I need to get in that Saudi bag too, man. Damn. Anyways, Ben Jacobs also reporting that he's been offered to Manchester United, 40 million price tag. I think, guys, it was only a matter of time. Honestly, it was only a matter of time before Manchester United was linked to Mitrovic. Now, it's really interesting that we are linked to Mitrovic because, guys, he plays for Al Hilal, right? He plays for Al Hilal, and Al Hilal are trying to sign Bruno. Now, I don't know if this is you do us a favor, we do you a favor, because we know you need a striker. In terms of what Mitrovic has done this season, and please, guys, I'm going to say this once, yeah. I don't want to see anyone calling the Saudi Pro League the Camel League. Please, that's xenophobic. Don't do that stuff, yeah? Call it the Saudi Pro League, call it the Saudi League, whatever you want to call it. Don't call it the Camel League or the Desert League or something like that. No need to do that. Anyways, this season, he's got 28 goals in all comps in 36 appearances. But, of course, you take it with a pinch of salt, because if we were signing someone from the Chinese league, if we were signing someone from the Egyptian league, similar to the Saudi league, I'm taking their stats with a pinch of salt. They can do it in the Saudi league, and the Saudi league is competitive to an extent, but it's not the pinnacle of football right now, and it hasn't been. It hasn't been. Now, for £40 million for Mitrovic, I'm not sure about that. He is a physical beast. We already know that. I want to check his injury record this season quickly, because I want to see if he's missed any games to injury. So this season he has only missed he's missed 13 games. Why am I saying only? Like, that's not much. He's missed 13 games this season with a hamstring injury. It seems like he's had a reoccurring hamstring injury 2 seasons in a row that has made him miss quite a few games. But we know Mitrovic, guys. It sounds like if Man United are looking to sign Mitrovic, yeah, I feel like they're trying to get these what's the word? These I don't want to say bullshit guys, but, like, you know, the no bullshit players, the players that are just they're villains. They are villains, yeah. Cunha is a villain. Mitrovic is a villain. However, 30 turning 31, for me, yeah, it's another stopgap. It is another stopgap. It is another stopgap signing from Manchester United, which I've been against for a minute. I've been against this whole stopgap signing, but I've also been against the idea of Man United signing young strikers. You know, when we signed HOJLUND, I didn't want HOJLUND. But for 40 million, there are so many other strikers that you can get right now, in my opinion, that is been in the Prem consistently. Obviously, he's been gone for a couple of seasons, who's probably younger and maybe even cheaper. Now, I don't know if this is also linked to Bruno Fernandes's situation, because that situation, when is it bloody gonna end? That's what I want to know. When is that bloody gonna end? 40 million is madness, but not gonna lie, Rasmus make Mitrovic links feel like R9. I'm checking X for Milinkovic Savic links next. Ridwan says bring Mateta, please. If he's 30 million, I just don't believe he's 30 million. Yeah, I don't believe he's 30 million as well. I just don't believe that Palace will sell him for that cheap. I just don't see it. We're trying to bring the dogs in, and I'm here for it, but just gotta get the fees right. But we need these type of players, ones who won't quit on the pitch, and you can see Amorim has noticed that. Do you guys think Amorim's gonna survive? I'm sorry to be like the negative, the queen of negativity, but I really want to have this conversation with you guys. If you guys think Amorim will survive or not, because I tweeted earlier. And this is why comprehension is so important, because people were replying to me on madness. Yeah, I tweeted earlier about the fact that City are getting business done early, and Manchester City is getting business done early. Liverpool's getting business done early, and I said, well, Man United fans are still talking about being skeptical about losing Bruno because they don't trust Ineos, and I think that says a lot, that fans don't trust the owners to do right in the transfer window. And I was reading about Xabi Alonso obviously leaning towards playing a 4-3-3 due to the players that he has at his disposal, and just the Real Madrid way of playing football. And I'm worried about Amorim. I am a little bit worried about Amorim because, number one, I don't want to watch 5 defenders on the pitch. Maybe this is me, by the way, but this is me being selfish, right? Because I'm talking about from my perspective. When I look at the way that we're going to start with 3 defenders, no real ball progressor in the middle. We have more so defensive-minded midfielders. I am a little bit worried. I'm slightly worried. I'm slightly worried. But obviously, I don't think we can have the full conversation until we see the way that the window goes. If Man United don't bring in more than 5 starters, I think it's going to be a big concern. Personally, I like 3 midfielders. I hate double pivots. I don't mind a double pivot if you've got someone in the 10. And I don't mind 3 midfielders. Like if you're playing a double pivot with someone in the 10, I don't mind. If you're playing 3 in the middle, like PSG do, etc., I don't mind that either. Like it generally don't bother me. What I do know is that you can't have, or you shouldn't have, not can't, but you shouldn't have midfielders who are not that great on the ball. Like if you watch PSG, for example, on Saturday, right? That goal, Doué's second goal that he scored, all starts from Vitinha in the deepest of roles, yeah, where Fabian Ruiz picks up the ball and offloads it to Vitinha, who 1-2 with the defender, gets into a little pocket of space in between 2 Inter players and drives the ball forward. I promise you, right now, I don't think anyone in Man United's team in midfield has that in their locker. And that's why I'm saying I don't really like that. Your midfield should have you being good on the ball. Big up to Uthman. Uthman, I hope you're doing well. Amorim is too fresh to change his formation. Young idealists end up shooting themselves in the foot to stick to principles. He can't coach any other way. Damn. He's not going to play defensive wing-backs next season. Ahmad is going to play the right wing-back role. Let me keep going. Khalid says, what stops us from getting Musiala or Valverde if we sell Bruno? Khalid's on something today, guys, because he said PSG should sign Garnacho, and now he's saying what stops us is Manchester United. And why would Musiala leave Bayern Munich and come to United? Why would Fede Valverde, who I love as a player, why would he leave Real Madrid and come to United? It's never going to happen. Let me see what else you're saying. How about we get forwards who score more than 4 goals a season and give the man a fighting chance? That is valid. Amorim would get much more grace from fans if we played attractive football, regardless of the results. The football is not attractive at all. It's not attractive at all. He'll do a lot better this season if we have less injuries. That's a definite possibility. Next season is monumental for Amorim. If we start poor, he could get sacked by December. If it goes well, he could get a new contract by summer of 2026. That's my thinking. It is really a make or break season for him. I think the most important thing is for him is that he just makes United look better than last season. I mean, with 1 game a week, it's not impossible, right? It's really, really not impossible for Man United. Well, it is impossible, but it shouldn't be impossible for Manchester United to look slightly better, just because they're playing one less game. In terms of outgoings, let's talk a little bit about outgoings. Inter Milan have reportedly identified Rasmus HOJLUND as their priority target for the summer transfer window. The Italian team are looking to strengthen their attack, and they are exploring a loan deal with an option to buy. I don't know what this means for HOJLUND, by the way, because is someone between Thuram and Lautaro expected to leave Inter this summer? By the way, they have Lautaro, they have Thuram, they have Arnautovic, they got Taremi. And you're telling me they want to sign HOJLUND as well? This sounds a bit fishy to me. Unless multiple of those strikers are leaving. Now, we do know Inzaghi's future. He's actually meeting today, reportedly, with Inter's board to decide his future. He's still got that offer on the table from Al Hilal. And maybe if Inzaghi does leave, it might actually be a free-for-all in terms of a lot of players leaving Inter, because Inter need to go through a rebuild as well. I think in terms of their age range in comparison to, a lot of the opponents that they came up against in the Champions League, for example, they were the older team throughout most of, the knockout stages. Throughout most of everyone they came up against, they had the average of an older squad. So Inter definitely are probably going to undergo a rebuild. And what better time to probably start that rebuild than Inzaghi leaving? Now, obviously, it's wishful thinking. Bastoni will never leave them. Barella will never leave. I think there's certain players in Inter's team that will probably never leave. Bastoni, Barella, I think DeMarco won't probably leave. But if Inter are going through a rebuild, Inter, there's no better place to start than to sign Rasmus HOJLUND. He's Prem experienced. I was going to say Prem proven, but he's Prem experienced, number one. Number two, he is, what else? He's got experience in the Italian league. Number two. Number three, he's got international experience with his national team. You see, these are all reasons why I think Inter Milan should sign HOJLUND. I think he would be a great fit for them. I don't want any loans. Can I just say that? I don't think United should be looking to loan out anyone unless it's someone they genuinely cannot sell, number one. Or number two, it's an academy player that they're sending out on loan. People like HOJLUND, people like, Rashford, if that's the path that United want to go down. People like Sancho, people like Anthony. We need to just cut ties with them. United just need to cut ties with all these players. That for me is the ideal situation. That is the ideal move. That is my preference. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well. We've got over 140 people here. Let's try and get 100 likes, guys. We're not that far off. We're about 21 likes off. So that means there's about half of you lot here that have walked in and have not hit the like button. And you lot know the rules. You come in, you wipe your feet, you say hi to everyone in the chat, and then you hit the like button. If you want to support the channel in alternative ways, you can by sending in super chats with your comments, with your questions, with your thoughts, or just to show some love. We've got a super chat goal here on the stream today, so you guys can help me reach that. If you want to support the channel in other ways, you can do simple things by hitting the like button, subscribing. We're on the road to 15k. We're not that far away. And obviously the off season is here now, or what do you call it in football? Off season, isn't it? Because in basketball it's called off season. Yeah, the off season is here. But we're doing daily streams here, daily video uploads, a lot of content. Side note, guys, so random. I've been playing F1, right? I told you guys a couple of months ago I wanted to start getting into F1. So I've been watching a couple of the races. I watched the race yesterday, the Spanish one. I've been playing the F1 game. It's really hard to understand. It's a very technical sport. I feel like it might be more difficult for me to understand than like basketball. I feel like when I got into basketball many years ago, like 15, 16 years ago, it was way easier for me to get into that than it is for me to get into F1 right now. I'm struggling to like understand stuff. I'm like, firstly, I'm so fascinated that people just drive around like 60 something times on a track. Yeah. But I was watching the race yesterday, and basically Verstappen hit a guy, right? apparently he does that kind of stuff, and apparently he's a proper shithouse, and apparently he's not a nice person. Obviously, I don't know the history of him and F1 and all of that stuff, but he kept like bumping into people, and then he finished like 3rd or 4th in the race, but then like 2 minutes later they said no, he's finished 10th because he's been penalized for that. And I couldn't enjoy F1 because every time they were showing me someone's car, I can't remember who it was. Every time they were showing me someone's car, all I saw was Ineos. I saw the Ineos logo, and it just rattled me so much. It just rattled me so much. F1 is a rich people sport. Okay, what are you saying? What are you saying? I can't watch it now because I'm not a rich person. No, but I get it. I get it. When I see when they go to the grid area, and it's just bare celebs and like rich people there. But yeah, just a fun little fact that I've been trying to get into F1. This is what Manchester United do to you. They make you start watching other sports. It's very unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. But yeah, be sure to hit the like button if you've just come through. If you want to join the membership club, it's not the pinned comment in the chat, but it is in the bio of this video. So you can join the membership club. You get your badges, emojis, custom member content, and of course you get to support the growth of the channel. That is so funny. He's saying, according to my sources, Bruno has personal terms agreed with Al Hilal. On the topic of Bruno, am I the only one I'm tired of this? Am I the only one that's actually bored of this whole Bruno thing? Because I'm bored of it. I'm tired of it. I'm still going to talk about it. I'm still going to talk about it, but I am absolutely bored of hearing about all of the things that come around with this Bruno thing. By the way, a lot of the reporters are not even saying anything with substance. Like, I don't know if you guys realize, but a lot of the time when these reporters are coming out, it's just, oh, Al Hilal are feeling more confident. Bruno is giving it some consideration. Just tell us if he's accepted the offer or he's not. That's it. That's it. And just tell us if they've bidded and Manchester United have accepted it, and that's it. That's all I want to know. But on the topic of what people are saying, Laurie Whitwell was saying on the Talk of the Devils podcast that Bruno Fernandes is given that the offer from Al Hilal serious consideration, and the talks are ongoing with his agent. He is now obviously at international duty. I can't believe, guys, they've got international duty. What the hell? And then some of the players, when they're done with international duty, they're going to go off back to their clubs for the Club World Cup. So he's at international duty right now. His agent was pictured in Portugal as well. This is what football has become, guys. People are taking pictures of agents walking through a hotel in Saudi. Like, that's how everybody is on the cusp of, you know, losing it about this Bruno thing. That they're taking pictures of his agent in Saudi. But with saying that, I do want this to come to an end, because I think it will. I think it will make it a lot easier for Manchester United fans and Manchester United to know where exactly they're heading in the summer transfer window. You know, right now, I feel like a lot of Man United's transfer news, or a lot of Man United's transfer moves, is in limbo because we don't know what's happening with Bruno Fernandes. And it's unfortunate that a lot of United's transfer window or their transfer moves is reliant on the decision of Bruno. It's unfortunate. It is really unfortunate. Now, I don't know. I'm in two ways about it. Like, I don't want Bruno to leave, but if it's for the greater good, anyone can leave Man United, even like my favorite player, if it's for the greater good in terms of financially. Now, my only concern, and I think a lot of people share this as well, is Ineos's recruitment strategy to not directly replace Bruno, because I don't think Bruno has to have a direct replacement, like a like-for-like replacement, but reinvest in the money that they make from the Bruno sell. That is where I'm skeptical. That is where I'm very skeptical, because yes, Ineos haven't had a horror show of recruitment, but also I know how much they have put emphasis on Man United's financial situations. So they might even turn around and be like, you know what? We're only investing half of this back into the squad because Manchester United need the money. Manchester United's future will be decided by Bruno's wife. The future of Manchester United is true. It's true. The future of Manchester United is in the hands of his missus. But But I feel like these kind of decisions, I don't know, maybe because we're speaking about this, maybe because we're speaking about this as non-footballers. So we're saying, oh yeah, if that was me, I would take it. I would take it. I would go straight away. But it is a big decision to make, especially footballers who have a wife and kids. Like you have to really consider the implications of just upping and leaving, going halfway across the world, and completely changing the environment that your kids are in, etc., etc. If Cristiano Ronaldo went Saudi Arabia and convinced his family, why wouldn't Bruno? Firstly, Ronaldo didn't have a club when he went to Saudi. He was a free agent. So that's the first thing. Secondly, Cristiano Ronaldo was offered how many million? He's a ambassador for Visit Saudi, which is their tourism thing. You'll see all the sponsored ads that he has on his social media posts. He's making a whole load of money. He's making like, let me see how much he's making, because I know for a fact he's making like triple of what this guy's making. Here you go. Bruno Fernandes is set to make 60 million in 3 years. Yeah, that's the offer that he's got from Saudi. 60 million pounds. Cristiano Ronaldo earns about 160 million pounds. He earns more than nearly triple. I don't think it's anything to do with if Ronaldo could do it, why can't he do it? And at the end of the day, guys, every footballer is different. Everybody's different. Bruno would be the third highest player in Saudi League. Yeah, he would be. I think it's after Ronaldo and Sadio Mane. A few days ago, there was a deadline. In this deadline, there was a yes by Bruno's agent. Now we just wait and see the full story. Maybe today, maybe in tomorrow. Apparently the new deadline. Apparently the new deadline is on Friday. And you guys know the transfer window is open right now for 10 days because of the Club World Cup. So I think we'll definitely have some news about this Bruno stuff in the coming days. But also, I'm just curious, guys, I'm curious about the fact that he's on international duty. What's the likelihood that he gives the green light whilst he's on international duty? Obviously, his agent is dealing with everything, and you know, he's not really dealing with the negotiations. But what's the likelihood that he'll give the green light? Now, for me, I just want this over and done with. I just want this over and done with, just because I just want Manchester United's. I want them to be out of their, what's the word? Out of this limbo. I want them to be out of this limbo of waiting and trying to figure out where the future is. I'm just kind of done with that. So if Amram don't get the players he wants, it's another stressful season. I don't want to be negative, but I even think it might still be a stressful season regardless of if that. Someone give me 3K a week in Saudi, I'll go right now. 3K a week. Yeah. Would I move to Saudi for £3,000 a week? Yeah, because that's like 12 grand a month. Yeah, I'd go to. Jadon Sancho, who we still don't know about his future at Manchester United. One thing I can say for a fact, not because I have sources, guys, just because it's the vibe that I'm getting. I think he does not want to come back to Manchester United. I don't think he wants to come back to Manchester United. Chelsea remain in contact with Jadon Sancho's camp over contract terms. Still no agreement on a salary so far. If the contract terms cannot be agreed, Sancho will go back to Manchester United with £5 million compensation. Jadon Sancho must take a pay cut if he wants to stay at Chelsea. Now, I don't know how Chelsea fans feel about this, but I'll be so honest. I think there's better wingers out there than Sancho for Chelsea to sign. However, with saying that, because I know that Man United need the money, I think Jadon Sancho Chelsea, you guys should sign him. But also, I would not be surprised, can I say, I would not be surprised if he is returned back to sender, because of the financial situation and the fact that he's going to be one of the highest earners at Chelsea. Let's have a look at Chelsea's salary. Let's look at their salary, across the first team. Because Jadon Sancho They pay some of his salary. They currently pay 100K of his salary. I think it's a 60-40 split that they have. So if he was to join Manchester United, if he was to leave Manchester United and join Chelsea on the same salary, obviously, he would be the highest earner. He would be the highest earner there. I mean, how the hell is... Firstly, no one earns more than Reece James. I think that's crazy. But I think they award loyalty at the club, and I think they, they're very serious about their Cobham boys. So I'm not surprised that Reece James is a high earner. Raheem Sterling, I'm more shocked at the fact that Arsenal managed to negotiate paying near enough to nothing of Raheem Sterling's wages. That's his wages that they pay whilst he's been on loan at Arsenal for this season. And then, after that, you see Nkunku, I don't know, he's been on 195K. That's crazy. Cole Palmer isn't even here. Cole Palmer is not even in the top 5 earners at Chelsea. So if Jadon Sancho does want to stay at Chelsea, he's going to be in for a humbling pay cut. And for me, the way that I see it is, how much do you really want it? In terms of how much do you really want out of Manchester, and how much do you really want to be at Chelsea? I don't think he really wants to be at Chelsea. I think he wants to be there, but not like, oh, 100% this is the club that I want to be at. I think he just does not want to be at Manchester United. That's it. And I don't blame him. It hasn't worked out. So he has to take a pay cut if he wants to remain there at Chelsea. Like I said, I think there's other signings that they would probably go for. But let's keep an eye on that. Now, let's quickly talk about this. Why is this picture so zoomed in? I don't know why I'm so zoomed in on this picture. Let's talk about this, because I saw a report from Charlotte Dunker, who's a reporter at The Times. Reportedly, Ruben Amorim sees Matheus Cunha as either one of the two. Number 1, playing in one of the 10 positions, or 2, slightly further back in a more defensive role. Let me just repeat that again. Ruben Amorim sees Matheus Cunha playing in either one of the 2 10 roles, or slightly further back in a more defensive role. What? No, you have to be taking the piss. You have to be taking the piss. I mean, I get it. He's good at ball carrying, progressing the ball. He's strong. He's physical. I don't know if that's his way of saying that he can be an alternative DM for Manchester United. The thought of it kind of confuses me a little bit. I'm intrigued. I am intrigued, but I'm just curious as to how that works out. Now, obviously, I think one thing I will say is the source of this. I've never really seen her report much on Manchester United, but I will trust that, she would have just made something up, because I like to give journalists the benefit of the doubt. But I had to share that with you guys, just because I thought, what the hell, man's trying to turn him into HOJLUND. Maybe he took inspiration from Newcastle and what they did with HOJLUND. Cunha's going to play the Pogba role. I don't think so. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Cunha and Ugarte, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. That's never going to happen. What else do we have? I think that's actually it, Let me see if there's any other news. Just on what Ben Jacobs was saying about Bruno Fernandes, sorry. He was reporting last night that Al Hilal now believe an agreement with Bruno Fernandes is very close. Bruno is currently deliberating with his family. And like someone said earlier, his wife has the future of Manchester United is in the hands of his wife, as a key factor is whether Bruno agrees the move is right for his family. There's been no formal approach or bid to Manchester United, but Al Hilal believe that once they have the approval from Bruno Fernandes, they will approach the club. And Manchester United have been insistent that they don't want to sell him. And Ruben Amorim has reportedly said that he wants to keep Manchester United. Now, he wants to keep Bruno Fernandes. What the hell did I mean about keep Manchester United? He wants to keep Bruno Fernandes. If Man United, can I say, if Man United do sell Bruno, despite the fact that Ruben Amorim has come out publicly multiple times saying that he wants to keep him. I think Ineos don't give a crap about what the manager wants. And I don't know. I don't know if you guys think that's the right thing. I don't know if you guys think that is the right thing, but I don't, you know, this whole Bruno thing, I like every 10 seconds my thought process on it changes. It really changes. I don't know how you guys feel. I think the general consensus around most of the fans is to sell him, but it's more like selling him reluctantly rather than, you know, quite happily. A lot of players in Saudi, their family don't live in Saudi. That's true. Not a lot of them. Some do. If they're in the bigger capital, the bigger cities, if they're in Jeddah or Riyadh, their families tend to live with them because the schooling is good there. They you know, there's private Western schools there for their kids, etc. But if they live in like, there's a city called Tai, I think. There's a city called Dammam. If they live in those cities, they tend to not live in Saudi because those cities are a bit smaller and less city-like. So they move to Bahrain as a common place for people to live. Aubameyang lives there. John Duran lives there. Some of them like live in the UAE. Some live in Qatar. They take a private jet to training. Like, it's crazy. They private jet. Some of them drive down. Obviously, if they're in Bahrain, which is a bit more closer. So yeah, I think it varies. I think it just varies. I think Mane and I think Mahrez's missus lives with him and his kids, etc. I think it just varies. It depends on the player. But all I know for sure is 5 o'clock now. Maybe we might have some news on this. I just think that this is just dragging out for a long, long time. The one thing that I'm really sad about, oh, not sad. The one thing I'm disappointed about, guys, I just feel like this guy here is the most obvious target that Manchester United should go for. Like, I just feel like he should be the most obvious. Like, Man United needing a striker. For me, it's so obvious that it should be Victor Osimhen. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. You got the coldest kit collection ever. My kit collection is nowhere near where I want it to be, guys. I'm still trying to get it up. But you know, like retro kits are so expensive. Like, why do they cost like a kid? I have to sell my kidney to buy it. Like, I'm trying to get more European kits, and I do this thing when I travel. I always buy a kit from the city that I'm in or the country that I'm in. So like national team, I've got Cape Verde, I've got some Malaysia kits, I've got some Thailand kits, etc. etc. Ridwan, I'm gonna check that out later. Inshallah, I'm gonna check it out later. Do you stock X? No, I don't. I've never brought anything on StockX, you know. I never trusted it. I used to use StockX just to value my trainers, not really my kits. Most of the time, my kits, I get them, if they're like more recent, I'll buy them directly from the retailers. Or sometimes I'm lucky, like Adidas or Nike will send me kits. Or if it's old school ones, I'll just go on a hunt for it. But someone was telling me like you can buy reps of old school shirts, and I was like, is that bad if I buy a rep? Rather than going on classic football shirts and buying a shirt for like £80 and then buying a shirt for £25. I don't know. Okay, football jerseys is cheap. I'm gonna have to check that out. I've never heard of that. I've never really heard of that. What would your wish list kit be? Oof, that's hard, you know. That's hard. I really want to get the blue Brazil shirt from 02, I think it is, from 2002 or 98, I can't remember. That's on my wish list. I've pretty much got all United kits, so that's not really anything that I want. What else? There was the Fiorentina, the pink Fiorentina kit. I think it was when they're sponsored by Nintendo. I think it's like from 96 or something. That kit is on my list. I can't remember. I have a shopping basket on a website that I get kits from sometimes. So I have to go on there to look at what is on my wish list. But off the top of my head, those two kits, great kits. Beautiful kits. I'm really sad that Venezia got relegated as well from, what's it called? Because I used to get their kits every season. They used to drop nice kits. There's one kit that I really like that I never got when it came out. It's the 2023, I think, season York kit. And it was like a chocolate color. And it just, yeah, here it is. This is the kit. York City 22-23 kit. You lot might not like it, but I like it. It looks like a very nice kit. But anyways, and enough about randomly us talking about kits. I hate the fact that United are linked to so many strikers, and the Osimhen, that should be the most obvious signing for Manchester United. It should be the most obvious one. But if it's true that he's asking for a lot of money, I think he's asking for, they were saying is like 180, 200k net, which would bring it up to like 350, 360. That's the only reason why. That's the only reason why I can imagine him going to Saudi, especially if, by the way, Al Hilal sell Mitrovic. I can see him going to Al Hilal. They could afford to pay his wages. Oh, I thought I was about to sneeze. Oh, okay. I thought I was about to sneeze. If we get Osimhen, we are serious for 25-26 season. I would pay the Osimhen wages. Would you guys pay the Osimhen wages? Because right now his transfer fee is not even a lot. I think it's like £50 million or 55 million. That was the last reported valuation for him. Napoli just want to get him out. Would you guys pay the wages? Honest question. Honest question. Would you guys pay the wages? Say he's asking for 340 or 300. Say it's 300 to 350. Anything between that is what he's asking for. You know what you're getting with him, right? With Victor Osimhen. You know what you're getting with him. Would you pay that fee and wages? Would Ineos pay it? Probably not. No, I don't think Ineos would. I don't think. I would pay it. If I was Ineos, I would pay it. I would pay it. 3-year deal. Or 4-year deal maybe. With a relatively affordable transfer fee and just but I would, obviously I'm not a sporting director, but if I was, I would do it on achievement based. So like a 200k base salary, which would bring him in line with probably most of the United team, and then a lot of it is like if you score 30 goals in the league, or if you score 25 goals in the league and 40 goals in all comps, and Man United finish 4th and they win a trophy, then you get this much bonus, which would drive up his annual salary at Manchester United. Make it more achievement based. Because for me, out of all the strikers on the market, it's very sad. I think it's very sad that United have to look at alternatives than what's the best right now on the market. The best on the market right now, firstly, Victor Gyökeres. I'm amazed at the fact that, let me bring him up on screen. I'm amazed that not one team is in for Victor Gyökeres. I have not seen one team publicly or have any link to him. Not Chelsea, not Arsenal, not Chelsea, not Liverpool, not any team that's looking for a number 9. And this guy has scored 90-something goals in all competitions this season, in international and club level. And yet no one's sniffing around him. Arsenal are linked to Benjamin Sesko. Chelsea are linked to Ekitike. Liverpool are, I don't even know who Liverpool are linked to up front right now. I think they're trying to get the Florian Wirtz deal done. Nobody seems to be linked to Gyökeres. There's something about Gyökeres' game that I don't like. Damn, a lot of you guys seem to be thinking that he ain't much. A lot of you guys seem to be saying that he's not really much. If Gyökeres is smart, he will join the coach who knows him really well. I mean, apparently he's demanding he wants Champions League football. I think Gyökeres is a good striker. I liked him when he was at Coventry. But excuse me, I'm intrigued at the fact that not really anybody is linked to him right now. That's it. People don't want to risk another Nunes, in my personal opinion. It's true, because Nunes was tearing it up in the Portuguese league. Nunes was tearing it up. Goncalo Ramos was tearing it up. Mehdi Taremi was tearing it up. Gyökeres has been tearing it up. A lot of these strikers who were in the Portuguese league were tearing it up until they went to their clubs, to their other clubs, and the hit rate is not that great. I'm trying to think of any other strikers who have left the Portuguese league and have been an instant hit in their club in the last couple of seasons. Nunes had more than 20 goals when he was at Portugal, in the Portuguese league, sorry. He had way more than 20 goals. I'd prefer Weghorst over another HOJLUND. The Prem is different gravy. Osimhen clear of many strikers. Honestly, that's all I can seem to think of. When I think of all the strikers that United are linked to, I think Osimhen is better than every single one of them. Every single one of them. The only reason I trust Gyökeres is because he's dealt with the physicality of the championship, but I'd rather David. Jonathan David is another, I don't want to call him a fraud, but he's another guy who's always available on the transfer market and no one wants him. And then now you're available on a free and nobody really wants you. It's only Napoli and Juve that are linked to him. Despite the fact that I feel like so many clubs are looking for strikers this summer. With our proven striker in the Prem, wages and value would be low. What's the likelihood that United can do a double swoop at Brentford? Because I like Wissa too. I just think he's slightly older than his partner, so he doesn't get that much attention. But I do like Wissa, and again, I don't think there's a likelihood that Brentford will do a double sell. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Big up to Fat Thor says, for me, I want a Premier League proven striker. I'd like a front three of Cunha, Mateta, and Bremo, but I know it won't happen. I think that can happen. I genuinely think I think it's more likely for that to happen, i.e. United sign Cunha, Mateta, and Bremo, than United sign Osimhen or Gyökeres, etc. I feel like for some reason, the Mbeumo deal, I think, is the most probably important one. I think Cunha was guaranteed. I feel like Cunha was locked in, but Mbeumo, there's rival teams that want him. He's a great player, so I'm not surprised that rival teams want him. And I think with Mateta would be just the icing on top. That's it. But I definitely think that can happen. Khalid's just trolling us today. I think the sun is getting to him today. I think Mateta has 1 year plus one option on his deal. He does. I don't want a bold front line. Is that a bold? Oh. I realized that it would be. Is Cunha bold? I can't remember. Does he? No, he's got hair. Cunha's got hair. Mateta's bold, and Mbeumo's bold. Maybe that's the path that United need to go down. Maybe that's the path United need to go down. But listen, guys, let me see if there's any news before we wrap this up. Let me see if there's any more news. I can't believe, honestly, that City are signing Aït-Nouri, guys. In case you didn't know, Man City are basically set to sign Aït-Nouri, and I can't believe it. It's probably the worst news that I've heard after hearing that they were signing Cherki. That annoyed me as well. That really upset me. We can't compete. We can't compete, guys. But it looks like there's no other news, because sometimes I feel like when I'm about to wrap up the stream, bam, there's some news. I'm more sad about Reinders. I'm sad about Reinders too. I'm sad about every player that they're linked to right now. Every player that City are linked to right now, I'm sad about it. I don't think this is gonna happen, guys. I don't think it's. I think they bust case. I think they bust case with this. They still haven't announced the outcome of it. Rashford is playing for us again next season. I don't think so. He's probably heading out again on loan if he can find himself a destination to go to. But I think it's just a matter of, I think it's just a matter of where he goes. But listen, guys, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. We reached the 100 like target. We even surpassed it. So make sure you guys, let's go redirect to Nuruddin, because we've got the Straight Jacket pod in a bit. So for now, go to Nuruddin's chat and just write Ineos. Just keep writing Ineos in his chat. He hates that guy. He hates Ineos. Oh, I can't redirect to him. Wait, yeah, no, I can't. Oh, yeah, I can. Just go to his channel, guys. Go to Nuruddin's channel and just keep spam in the chat Ineos, because he hates Ineos. But we will be live on the Straight Jacket pod in about 15 minutes. and then the red carpet at 7 p.m. UK time. So make sure you guys come through, show some love on United View. And if there's anything else, any news, breaking news with the Bruno Fernandes situation, obviously I will be live, video dropping later this afternoon as well. Keep, buy, sell, etc for Manchester United. I'm actually reacting to my Sky Sports one. I did one on Sky Sports in November when Amorim joined. I'm going to react to that and basically redo it, see what's changed in the last 6 months. So make sure you guys check that out. And I'll catch a lot of you guys on the red carpet or on the Straight Jacket podcast. I hope you have a wonderful day, guys. Have a good one. I'm out. Peace.